All right, we'll go ahead and call the Transportation Committee meeting to order. First item on the agenda today is hearing on SB 403. So I'll open that at this time. And Chris, can you give us an overview?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee. Senate Bill 403 would provide for the Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever distinctive license plates. The bill would authorize Pheasants Forever Incorporated to establish 2 new distinctive license plates intended to promote Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever. Usual standard distinctive license plate requirements would apply for 250 initial issuance for production and payment of up to $5,000 for the design cost by the sponsoring organization. They'll set a fee, an annual fee between $25 and $100 that will be credited to a royalty fund set up for the organization. And then the bill would take effect July 1, 2026, with applications and issuance of the license plates also beginning on July 1, 2026. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Representative Hoheisel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for that breakdown. Just a request, Mr. Chair. I know we discussed it earlier this morning. If we could have research in the budget that we just passed today, there was perhaps a proviso or something in there about distinctive license plates and an additional fee. I would like to know what that fee is, what that applies to, and just that whole mechanism. So if we could have research kind of dig into that a little bit, I would like to get those numbers.
And then go ahead.
Sure, if I may, because I also staff appropriations and wrote that proviso. So it would apply a $10 fee for all applications for distinctive plates, personalized plates, and personalized and distinctive plates, with the money first going to the State Highway Fund, as it usually does under those statutes, and then getting transferred to the Division of Vehicles Operating Fund.
And the total of the funds, none of it stays in State Highway Fund, the total gets transferred?
The total of those $10 fees that are collected.
Okay, and was that intended to plug the hole that Department of Revenue has came to us and explained in the past?
I believe that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and but because it was a proviso in the budget, that's only good for 1 year. So that would only apply to folks who are getting their initial tags this year, or would that apply to people renewing their tags this year too?
It would apply for applications for distinctive license plates. So it applies in FY27. I'm not sure how that annual fee process works and whether it would be original applications or renewals. But I guess anyone who would apply for a distinctive or personalized plate would pay that $10 fee.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate your knowledge on this and having an answer right for me. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Goddard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I substituted on the committee that made that proviso, and as I understand it, it was for renewals and for original application.
And then in conjunction with that, I mean, I think this is a bigger issue than what we're talking about for a one-time deal. You know, that was kind of driven by some of the other things that were going on. But do you know off the top of your head, is there a minimum order requirement on a distinctive license plate any longer? In other words, do you have to have 100, or do you used to it was 500, I think, before they went into production?
Yep, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in KSA-1,141, it's 250 initial issuance requirements. It did used to be 500, like you said. For ongoing, I believe it's 100 within a 2 year, but I would need to look up for ongoing.
125?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I believe it was 125 because it was 500 and 250, and then we came in and cut both those numbers in half. So I think it went down to 250 and 125, if I remember right.
And then tell me, what's 125 for issuance mean?
It renewals, like you have your initial, before you can issue the license plates, it was 250, you had to hit that threshold. and then the license plates would go out, like pre-orders,
Right.
basically. And then in order to keep them going, you had to have renewals of 125 plates.
So what happens if they don't, that's not annually, is it?
That would be a revisor.
I need to look at the statute.
Yeah, we need to look at
I-
all of
I
those a
bel-
little
I
bit.
believe it's like a 2-year window that they have to have at least 125 license plates ordered for that license plate to continue to be issued, but I will
But is it ordered or just, they have to be renewed?
renewed, so like, yeah, on an ongoing basis.
Okay, so if you don't get 125 to renew in a year, then they can drop it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how the statute reads.
And then also the way it works is they pay a $40 application fee up front for one. Is that correct? I believe.
Yes, that's correct. They pay it borrows the personalized license plate fee, but yes, that's $40. That's the one-time fee. The annual fee is that fee between
Yeah,
25.
that goes to the agency
Yes,
or the people getting it. So in this case, it's $50 for the first year
And
because of the proviso.
yeah, it would be, yeah. And to follow up, Mr. Chair, if I may, on that, the $40, does that go towards the design cost of the plate? Or does the design cost have to be submitted by or paid for by the entity requesting the plate?
Chairman, the design cost is paid by the entity. The $40 is what goes to the State Highway Fund.
And that goes straight to the state highway fund? It doesn't get deferred after it goes into the highway fund?
It stays in the highway fund through the budget bill. There are quarterly payments to the Division of Vehicles from the State Highway
got
Fund
you.
to account for those.
But
Okay.
it's not based upon any kind of tags out there or registrations or anything. I mean, it's an appropriation that Department of Revenue submits. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Anyway, that's something. I know it's been in the back of all of our minds. We do a lot of license plates and we just got to make sure the state's not losing money over it. Some of them like Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever will probably sell hundreds and hundreds of plates, but International Pancake Day, maybe I shouldn't say that. I need to come up with something for Wichita, but
We have
Might
the
struggle
Wichita
some.
flag license plate already. It's
yeah,
wonderful.
there
It's
were
one of
more
the top
those sold
selling,
than I thought there would be.
one of the top selling ones. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
okay.
plate.
Any other questions for Chris? Okay. Seeing none, thank you very much. And if everybody wants to take a moment to look at the fiscal note, talks about, design fees and things like that in there. All right. Today for the Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever, which will be a big seller in Southwest Kansas, I'm sure. We have Micah Rizak with Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever. Welcome to the committee.
There we go. All right. Yes. Chair Francis, Vice Chair Essex, and members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to be here today and testify to you in support of the Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever specialty license plate proposed in Senate Bill 403. My name is Micah Rizak. I am a resident of Rossville, Kansas, so just up the road, and I serve as the regional representative for Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever here in Kansas. We're a national nonprofit organization that is dedicated to conserving pheasants, quail, and other wildlife through habitat improvement, public access, education, and conservation advocacy. I'm here today representing nearly 9,000 members across the state, organized into 45 local chapters and supported by 37 full-time Kansas-based staff that are our boots on the ground working to strengthen habitat and conservation outcomes. Our members are deeply committed to the future of Kansas, wildlife, working lands, and upland heritage. That commitment was clearly demonstrated recently when over 600 Kansans signed the petition required by the Department of Revenue to advance these specialty license plates to this point. We actually got 643 signatures in less than 48 hours, so definitely supported. The specialty license plates proposed in Senate Bill 403 will provide Kansans with a meaningful and voluntary way to support wildlife conservation while at the same time generating funding that remains focused on habitat, public access to the outdoors, and educating the next generation of hunters and conservationists. Specialty plates are a proven tool that allows citizens to directly invest in conservation efforts that they value while increasing public awareness of the work taking place across the state. Kansas is a national leader in upland bird hunting and grassland conservation. The habitat work supported by our chapters, staff, and partners benefits not only pheasants and quail, but also pollinators, songbirds, water quality, soil health, and rural economies. Conservation funding is an investment that delivers returns far beyond wildlife alone. Through conservation initiatives led by the Kansas Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever team, we have positively impacted more than 180,000 acres across private and public land in the last year. This work includes education and outreach to the general public, conservation management, planning support for farmers and ranchers, and habitat restoration and enhancement, as well as the creation of new habitat on both public and private land. Additional investment through the specialty license plate would help ensure this work can continue at current levels, as well as support future growth to better meet the needs of our Kansas communities. In addition to generating funding, these plates serve an important awareness function. Each vehicle displaying a Pheasants Forever or Quail Forever plate becomes a visible reminder of Kansas's strong conservation ethic, upland traditions, and the importance of protecting natural resources for our future generations. Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever are proud to partner with landowners, farmers, hunters, agencies, and communities to deliver real conservation on the ground. The Specialty License Plate Program is another effective tool that will allow Kansans to directly support that mission. I respectfully ask for your support of the Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever Specialty License Plate and for your continued commitment to conservation in Kansas. Thank you for the opportunity to testify to you today, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, committee questions for Micah? Representative Hoy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the testimony. Just for the record, everything I can find shows that Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever are 501c3 exclusively, not C4.
Yes, we are 501c3, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hey, any other questions? Hey, seeing none, thank you very much. All right, do we have any other proponent testimony? Seeing none, do we have any neutral testimony? Seeing none, do we have any opponent testimony? All right, since there's no further testimony, I'll now close the hearing on SB 403. Next on the agenda committee is we'll open the hearing on Senate Bill 366. Chris, can you give us an overview?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee House or Senate Bill 366 designates a bridge in Sedgwick County as the Don Snyder Memorial Bridge. So Section 1 would provide that bridge, and the bridge numbers 0087-B0854, which is a KDOT designation. The bridge is located on Interstate 135 in Sedgwick County, and that would be designated as the Don Snyder Memorial Bridge. As always, signs won't be placed until the Secretary of Transportation receives 100% for the cost of the signs and additional 50% for future maintenance. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions for Chris? Okay, seeing none, Representative Minnick, it says Minnick there, Representative Brunk.
I don't mean to hold this up. I read through the testimony and I'm still not sure I know where this bridge is. So 135, and so he's going to tell us. Okay, all right. Cancel my question. We'll wait for him to tell us. It connects I-135 to 235 somewhere. We'll let you explain it. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, everybody will take a minute to review the fiscal note. Yeah, get right on that. No questions on this one. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have one proponent, one in-person proponent, and that's Michael Longshaw. Welcome to the committee, Michael. Okay, and I just want to make sure that you understand one thing. What is the one piece of biased testimony you're supposed to give today about a highway? Ab- I can almost assure you that this bill has a really great chance of getting a vote in this committee. All right, welcome to the committee.
Appreciate it. I heard there's a bridge in Leavenworth that also needs some work. Just a heads up there that that may come up as well. My name is Mike.
Now it gets out of committee. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Mike Longshaw. I've lived in Kansas for 37 years, Butler County for 26 years. I worked for the Kansas Department of Transportation for 23 years and retired back in 2024. I'm here today to advocate for Bill 366, Senate Bill 366. It's a bridge, to designate a bridge in Wichita, which goes from northbound 135 to southbound 235. So as you're driving north out of town, used to be a loop ramp there that would take you around the up at there at the north part of town. It'd take you a loop ramp up there, and it tied into 254 and then went into 235. Every day at 5 o'clock, traffic would back up there every day. And now there's a bridge that goes from northbound to south or southbound. It's a 2-lane roadway that took care of that congestion problem we had in Wichita ever since I was there back in 1989. Yep. Nope. Yep. Perfect. That's what I'm advocating, to get that named the Don Snyder Bridge. Meg helped me with some handouts. I gave everybody a handout, which is the KDOT's designated sign process. Also a write-up about Don Snyder that I gave out to everybody. And I'm going to, hopefully in the next 5 minutes or so, kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of this so we can get through that, so and answer any questions you may have. Don was raised in Wichita, Kansas, went to Kansas State University, earned his degree in civil engineering. After he earned his degree, he came to work for the Kansas Department of Transportation in Wichita as their construction engineer. Did a great job of building construction projects around Wichita. Once he got his professional engineering license, he took a job in Hutchinson and became the district materials engineer, and then he was in charge of incorporating quality materials in the south central 18 counties of Kansas. After that job, he took the area engineer job down in Winfield, Kansas, where he was not only in charge of the construction, but also the maintenance activities. So he was in charge of keeping the snow plows out there to keep the roadways safe during snowstorms. After that, he got promoted to the metro engineer job in Wichita, which is similar to an area engineer job, except for you get the opportunity to deal with all the traffic challenges you have in Wichita. And Don did a great job there. One of the projects that he built was called the Gold Project. That's the bridge we're talking about, which took the traffic on northbound 135 and eliminated a loop ramp where it was just a congestion problem every day. Every day when you drove through Wichita at 5 o'clock and you turned on KFDI, it said traffic is backed up at the North Junction every day for as long as I knew. Don helped not only with the design process and the right-of-way process, but also the construction of that bridge that was finished in 2023. Like I said, it was, as far as I'm concerned, probably the best project to get rid of congestion in Wichita. Don was also named the Government Engineer of the Year by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Don retired in 2022. I was actually in his job after he retired, and we had a void in experienced engineers at that point. So I called Don and said, hey, can you come back and help me as my field engineering administrator to help mentor some of our inexperienced engineers? Don said, yeah, I can come back, but I want to be part-time and I want to be able to go and ride my bike every afternoon. And I needed the help, and Don was great help, so I agreed. So Don came to work part-time for us and did a great job. Like I said, he loved riding his bicycle. He rode his bicycle across the state of Kansas in the Bike Across Kansas race like 15 plus times. On that bike ride, you get on your bike at the Colorado border and ride all the way across the state of Kansas and end at the Missouri border. Everyone talks about how flat Kansas is. I did that ride one time, and I can tell you Kansas is not as flat as you think it is when you're on a bicycle. Don was also very instrumental in getting the Red Bud bike trail built from Wichita to Augusta, and he's respected by the entire cycling community. During Don's return, he did a great job of mentoring my inexperienced engineers and also helped us do some design work on some very challenging projects. in April 2023. It was on a Thursday afternoon. Don, myself, and Tom Hine were out on the bridge we're talking about just before it opened up. We were preparing for the ribbon cutting ceremony that was coming the next week. So we decided where the podium would be, where the press would be, where the chairs would be, so that the dignitaries could come out and open up this bridge. Got everything set up really well, and Don said, hey, can I take off tomorrow to go on a bike ride? I'm gonna ride on a race down in Barber County. So I said, absolutely, that's what we agreed to. So that Friday afternoon, I got a call from Don's wife, Michelle, and she said, hey, Mike, I need to let you know that there was a tragic accident today. While Don was riding his bike, he flipped over the handlebars, broke his neck, and died. My worst day at work ever. Didn't enjoy it at all. Don was loved and respected by everybody at KDOT. His equipment operators, new guys, all the way up to Secretary Calvin Reed, knew Don and respected the great job he did. He was also respected by all the consultants and contractors he worked with. If we get the sign placed on this bridge, it's only about a mile from the office where Don works, so a lot of his employees will be able to drive that every day and see his name up there and probably put a little smile on their face. A lot of the bicycle enthusiasts in town will drive by that and see Don's name, along with the contractors and consultants. I discussed naming this bridge with Dwayne Flug, who's the current Metro engineer there, and he was supportive, and he talked to his boss, Nick Squires, the district engineer, who's supportive, who talked to his boss, Ron Hall, who's the director of operations. I think we got this going the right direction. And I probably didn't mention this in the designated signing brochure. It doesn't require any funds from the state of Kansas, and you mentioned it well that I will take care of that cost. I will write a check to the Department of Transportation or whoever, Department of Revenue, whoever needs that money. I will get that to them as soon as this gets through the legislative process. I want to thank Senator Masterson's office for getting this started for me. Mike Perner and his office did a great job. I need to thank Meg here for doing a great job of getting me lined up to do the correct things here today. Can I answer any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Mike? Representative Hobson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your testimony today. I just want to find out that bridge you're talking about, how long is it?
I should know this. I could probably get you some plans on it pretty quick. I'm going to guess about probably 600 feet probably. So it starts on so when you're driving up 135, it takes off to the right, and then it goes over the 4 lanes of 135, and then it comes back in and ties into the 2 lanes of 235 there. So I apologize. I'm guessing 600 feet, but I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, it used to be in my district before it got carved out into Representative Bricker's district, so familiar with it. So it's about 600 feet. Is that before it gets onto 235, right? That's
correct.
Okay, so
I can get you that exact number. I can call Dwayne and get you the exact length if you'd like. I can get that for you.
Okay. It's a beautiful, ever since you're absolutely correct with respect to the congestion that's always been going on there for years. I'm glad that that bridge is pretty much there. There's actually, alleviated some of that congestion.
Yeah,
so
it'll be even better when we get the project to the south
right.
completed, which is still a challenge, but that's
right.
making progress as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. I just want to tell you, give you my heartfelt thanks and all of the employees that have spent their years at KDOT through good times and bad times. I think sometimes as legislators, we don't remember the sacrifices that employees of the state of Kansas make. And, you guys are part of a community. And I just want to thank you for caring about one of your coworkers like this. And whenever you get back to Wichita, please tell the members of that team down there how much we appreciate all of their work.
I will do that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Do we have any other proponent testimony in person? Okay, seeing none. I want everybody to look in their file. We have one other written proponent testimony from Greg Schreiber. He is with Department of Transportation, but none of these people are testifying as members of KDOT. They're all doing this as individuals. I just want to make that clear. Do we have any opponent testimony? Seeing none. Any neutral testimony? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the hearing on Senate Bill 366. Committee, Meg, do you remember what bills we're hearing Monday? We've got a couple of bills Monday and Tuesday. Monday, we're going to be hearing SB 445, which provides for the Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Advisory Committee, and SB 325, which is the use of materials or objects covering a license plate. On Tuesday, March 3rd, we're going to hear again the Railroad Hall of Fame. We decided not to work that bill because it was coming out of the Senate, save time on the floor and everything. And then also SB 367. This will be one of our controversial bills of the year because it deals with driving golf carts upon sidewalks. And we can all get pretty riled up about those golf carts one way or another. So if there's no further business for the committee, we're adjourned. Thank you.